Hello everybody, today I'm going to be showing you the smooth tool I made. This is a combination of a client-side mod, builder mod, this one here, and a relatively smaller server-side mod that basically just handles the block placements. So the tool that I have made is a smooth tool. So there's quite a lot of options here. Let me just set some reasonable defaults. Let's decrease that. So basically, let's get something that is not smooth. We'll use the erase tool for this. And I mean, it basically does what it says. It smooths out an area. You can, oh yeah, by the way, if you're wondering about the selection, you basically hold down right click and then drag, you make a selection, you release, and then it executes the operation, which is in this case a smoothing operation. So you can see, if you're wondering why the client is lagging, that is because this mod does something a little bit different compared to other kind of builder plugins, in that all of the block changes are calculated on the client and sent to the server. Yeah, that way the server can be more portable, and you know, the client already has like most of the information, so it minimizes the amount of data that actually needs to get sent. Anyways, so we can smooth this here, and you can see it is doing a good job of smoothing. A couple options, obviously tool radius, you can increase or decrease the radius if you want to smooth a finer area. Gaussian range, this controls how far it is, so a bigger range is going to be like have more influence. Every single block is going to have more influence, so you're going to get like really like smooth steps like this. And Gaussian strength, so this controls essentially the way the blocks are distributed. So a higher strength is going to distribute the blocks further. And so you can see with a very high strength we get almost immediately in a couple uses this staircasing effect here, whereas if I had a lower strength here, it would take a lot more iterations to spread it over that area, right? And next up we have block bias. So block bias essentially biases the amount of, so obviously the smooth tool works by adding and removing blocks, right, to make it smooth. And so what the block bias does is it biases the amount of blocks it will add or remove. So with a block bias of 0, what that's going to do is it's going to remove a block for every block it adds, or it's going to add a block for every block it removes, right? So it keeps the total number of blocks the same. But if we increase this, you'll see that it adds a whole bunch of blocks around it when it's smoothing. And same if we have a negative bias, it'll remove a whole bunch of blocks here. Obviously, you know, I went to minimum and maximum, so it's quite an extreme effect, but you know, you might want to play around with values closer to 0 here to get your desired effect. And then finally we have 3 options here. So stable essentially both adds and remove blocks. Melt will only remove blocks. So if we try the melt here, you can see it's removing it. So you might want to use that in conjunction with a negative block bias, but yeah, so melt basically only removes blocks, and then grow will only ever add blocks. But you can see the effect is very subtle because this terrain is already smooth, right? So there's not many changes that it actually needs to make it more smooth. So it's very, very gradual. Yeah, and that's the smooth tool here. So builder mod may be coming soon. I don't know. We'll see. All right. See ya.